Hey,
Hi,
hello, how are you doing? This is Kim
and Amy.
and Amy, and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book. But first, we have 365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean. Okay, and we're going to start with that. February 3rd, we're honoring Tecumseh today, who is Shawnee a chief who lived from 1768 to 1813, and he is famous for kind of rallying the tribes around the where is the Shawnee. I think they're around Ohio. I was gonna look that up. The Shawnee Nation, or in the eastern before before the white people really broke into the West. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so they have Shawnee. Well, I want to know kind of where's the location.
History of the people, maybe?
Map.
Location.
Map.
Okay.
Yeah, so these guys are located, yeah, that's what I thought, around Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. Is kind of where I was thinking they were. Yeah, so and he organized a massive resistance, and united some tribes in that area against the whites. And of course, eventually, it was defeated eventually, but it was kind of the last united effort. There were other, and then they went further west and they fought the Comanches and the Lakotas. Um, but this was a major effort to unite tribes. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Tell us about Tecumseh.
For February 3rd, will we let ourselves be destroyed in our turn without a struggle? Give up our homes, our country bequeathed to us by the Great Spirit, the graves of our dead, and everything that is dear and sacred to us. I know you will cry with me, never, never. Tecumseh, Shawnee Indian, 1768, 1813. Did you know? Traditionally, Native American heritage is handed down from the mother's side, even if both parents are Native American. If only the father is Native American, the Native American lineage is still followed. Some children today, though, follow both parents' lineage. That's kind of cool. A lot of cultures are like that.
That's why my sons are. Yeah, I'm not Native, so my sons are Native, even though I'm not. Well, and they're yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, that would make sense because my dad he's deceased. So he's Cherokee Indian, but my mom would always say that I was Cherokee Indian, that we were, even though my mother isn't, but maybe that's why she'd say it, because she's following the lineage.
Well,
even though my dad, so maybe that's why she would do that.
Yeah.
Because she was 50% Irish and 50%, 25% Norwegian and 25% English. I'm kind of one of those mutts.
Hey, we all are.
I'm a
these
happy
days.
mutt. I
Well,
embrace all of who I am.
but I think it's great. I think they did honor the female line more than what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah. I try to get my kids to think of themselves as half white and half Native, but they don't like to do that.
Not
they
right
don't
now,
like
not
to.
with the way the world is.
No.
My kids too used to embrace that, but now they, I even said that too. I said, I don't think you're embarrassed of me or ashamed of me for things that I've done. I think you're ashamed of me for being white. And they're like, yep, but not because of you per se, but because of how the world is going.
So the whole whiteness thing is a hard thing. But anyway, okay. Thank you, Tecumseh, for your words of wisdom today. Okay. We're going to read from the Tao Te Ching next. Gosh, I've got this kinetic sand. It's great stuff. All right. Okay.
I have to hide it from the kids.
Yeah, it's such great stuff. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 3 in the Tao Te Ching is tempering, and we have a lovely image to show you. Like I don't think that's a lotus. That looks like some kind of a cactus flower.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's
beautiful.
reminiscent of a lotus, though, isn't it? It's got the same structure as a lotus, like that unfolding, like that blooming onion kind of shape. Okay. Do you want to do that one too? Tempering.
Overpraising the gifted leads to contentiousness. Overvaluing the precious invites stealing. Craving the desirable losses contentment. The natural person desires without craving and acts without excess. Yeah, by not doing everything is done. I realized after I said that
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I'm tired, so my words are.
That's all right. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you have any comments on that?
I like the top.
There's
overvaluing the precious invites stealing.
It's true. Yeah.
Craving the desirable loses contentment.
Right. Because if you think of all of what you want, then you're not content with what you have. So there's a balance there. The Tao is about balancing, right? So
it's a work of art to try to balance. I struggle so hard to balance.
It can be hard, especially when you have young ones. That's the most difficult time. Yeah, because everything that you do, you have to think not just about how it affects you, but how it affects the young ones.
Well, and I think because I struggle just to balance physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And then, just daily, and I'm currently not working, but then relationships and then job, and you add all of that together. And then you have to take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, there's nothing left for anyone else. It gets to be a juggling act.
Well, the spiritual path is the one that is the balance point. Okay. So if you seek that, the Tao has a concept called Wu Wei.
Oh, cool.
Which means doing, not doing. So, right. So it means it doesn't mean not doing anything. It just means doing what comes naturally in every moment. Okay. So it's about being fully present and just doing what's needed, whatever's time there is, and using every moment as fruitfully as you can. And don't stress about
things you can't control.
Well, things or things that don't matter that much. Well, a long time ago, I gave up trying to have things perfect the way my mom used to have everything perfect in the house. And I'm like, you know what? That's a waste of energy. And
crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's never done.
No. And I realize I'm just not interested in that. So wherever I am, I'm just trying to be just genuinely present the way I am.
I think you always are. And that's what I love about you.
Oh.
So you don't make any excuses for who you are. You just are who you are. I love it. I wish everybody could do that and be that way, as authentic and true to your own self.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the center. That's the way. And Tao means the way. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna
see. We need this. I was so tired. I was just I don't know if I could do anything today. And see, now I'm happy.
We'll swing by Caribou on the way.
Right?
You want to? We can.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I might scare the 6-year-old later. I'll be like, 6-year-old will be like, Mommy.
It's okay.
I'll be like, later. I'll be able to keep up with her
for a while, and then
we'll both crash together.
Or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So we're on paper 35, the local universe sons of God, the Vorondadek Worlds. Okay. All right. Do you want to go again or do you want me to go?
I will read this one.
Okay, you just read that one.
The second group of the 7 worlds in the circuit of 70 primary spheres or surrounding planet. Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying again. I'm going to
Okay.
start over. The second group of 7 worlds in the circuit of 70 primary spheres surrounding Salvington comprise the Vorondadek
Comprise, like build, not comprise the Vorondadek
planets. Each of these spheres, with its 6 encircling satellites, is devoted to a special phase of Vorondadek activities. On these 49 realms, the ascending mortals secure the acme of their education, respecting universe legislation. Oh, wow. That's cool.
So this is like a university, you know, and we were talking about that earlier in this section here, the work of the Melchizedek here, the Melchizedek worlds here. Me and Andy were reading this. I'm just referring back to section 3 of the same paper. And this is a huge university, and this is renowned. Our university here in our universe in this constellation, the Vorondadek Worlds, they know this all over the major sector and the major sector of Splandon.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it's known throughout a lot of different universes. This is the Harvard of,
It's crazy. Wow.
in our universe. So it's pretty cool. I'm kind of down with that. That's awesome. So this is where the ascending mortals go to understand how the structure of the super universes are and how the governments work.
So you say Harvard, and I'm thinking more like Harry Potter. I don't know why.
Okay,
That's just
because it's mystical. It's
Mhm.
mystical and magical and things like that too. But I mean, the spiritual beings from all over many different universes, not just this universe.
Wow.
They like to come here, and it says that we host exchange students here at this university.
That is so cool.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
That's in section 3 over here. Yeah,
Andy
and I read through
the
it.
suns, but
Yeah.
not the worlds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just continue with this
Yeah.
here. Okay. The ascending mortals have observed the legislative assemblies as they functioned on the headquarters worlds of the constellations. But here on these Vorondadek worlds, they participate. Okay, but here on these Vorondadek worlds, they participate in the enactment of the actual general legislation of the local universe under the tutelage of the senior Vorondadeks. Okay, so we get to go to legislative assemblies and such like that. Such enactments are designed to coordinate the varied pronouncements of the autonomous legislative assemblies of the 100 constellations. The instruction to be had in the Vorondadek schools is unexcelled, even on Uversa. That's the capital of the super universe. That's way out there. Okay, this training is progressive, extending from the first sphere with supplemental work on its 6 satellites on up through the remaining 6 primary spheres and their associated satellite groups.
Wow.
So you picture the major sphere of I guess it would be Edentia, right? Or the Salvington, right? Because the capital of our constellation is, but here they're talking about surrounding Salvington, but these are surrounding Salvington, are the Vorondadek planets. Okay, so that's interesting. That's different than it was over here, which it was around. Oh no, but they're near Salvington.
Hmm.
But that's not that level of we're talking about. Oh, this is the Melchizedek University. That's different than Melchizedek University.
Yeah,
these are
in the north.
Vorondadek.
Where did I get Nord from? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's so hard to keep all these things straight.
Yeah.
There's so many different levels to everything. But these Vorondadeks are also around Salvington. Okay, but anyway, it's what I'm getting is that this is a big deal. We have a major school here going on for people who want to you know learn about a lot of stuff in the universe. So and it's a good school. Okay.
I'm trying to picture this because, like, then I don't know if anybody's seen What Dreams May Come
Oh, I love
with
that.
Robin Williams.
Oh,
So the
God.
library and stuff. So I'm trying to picture all these different movies and all of this stuff going on and trying to visualize the different layers and how this works. And it's just like our movies can't even come
No.
close to what
the
It's
complexity
insane.
and the
mind is just
there's so much out there to know about, but we're going to be up to it because we're growing.
Yeah.
And we're helped, we're loved,
Mhm.
we're fostered all the way. So we're going to be capable of
So much.
of performing miracles and creating best outcomes for the newer worlds, everything.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I get
You can't yawn.
teary.
I'm the one that's tired.
No, I'm just like oh my gosh, I'm almost crying. Okay. The ascending pilgrims will be introduced to numerous activities on these worlds of study and practical work. We are not forbidden to undertake the revelation of these new and undreamed of pursuits, but we despair of being able to portray these undertakings to the material mind of mortal beings. It's more than you can deal with. It's more than you can think about. We are without words to convey the meanings of these supernal activities, and there are no analogous human engagements which might be utilized as illustrations of these new occupations of the ascending mortals as they pursue their studies on these 49 worlds. And many other activities not a part of the ascendant regime are centered on these Vorondadek worlds of the Salvington Circuit.
See, now that I can get because their language is so, and what they can feel and express and understand and interpret our feeble little minds.
Yeah, they're trying to relate
Just
to like,
not even.
Yeah, I know.
Not happening.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting.
Yep. I think
I love the fact that we don't ever stop growing and learning and evolving.
Right.
It continues just in another form or forms of energies and evolving.
Well, we do approach and achieve perfection, but that doesn't mean that there's ever an end to new levels of expansion and experience and development. It's just that we become like incapable of making mistakes. Okay, when we achieve this level, okay.
Mistakes is here on Earth, and that's how we
learn.
No,
there'll be mistakes. Until we achieve this perfection, we're still capable of making mistakes up through heaven until we gain the Urantia worlds and all these after we die, until we gain audience, the embrace of the Father and the Trinity. So
you've been studying this longer than me, so you retain that information. Because I remember now that you said that, I was like, oh yeah, Kim and I, we did that. But it's like, yeah, wow.
So it's really
you
big.
could be studying this your whole life. And not.
I read it every day.
Gosh.
So and I've been studying it for about 5 years.
Really, that long already? No.
Yeah, and
wow.
Some people said to me that it's been 5 years since I picked this up, and when I was first reading, I was like blown away. I'm going like, WTF is this? It's like, what? I didn't know whether to take it seriously or not. I was just like, but it's very serious. it's very serious. Whether you want to have it as part of your life, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not even going to say that like there's some people that aren't it won't benefit them because they're not at a place in their development where they can appreciate that. And you know what, you gotta you gotta decide for yourself. There's some people that are won't appreciate it because they're already on a path that's meaningful to them, and they're already busy learning something about something else that's probably beneficial. So but it just depends. Yeah, if you I've stopped. This is one thing evangelical Christians do so wrong, so badly, is that they pressure you have to get this or you're going to go to hell and stuff like that. Okay, and nothing could be further from the truth. So that makes me angry when I hear that stuff. But anyway, we don't have to worry about that. Anyway, so it was nice being here and doing this. Okay, next time we'll talk about the Lananandek sons. Lananandek sons are interesting, of course. I always point out that our pal Lucifer was a Lananandek son until he decided he wanted to be something other than that. So these beings are not completely infallible. They're they're not divine creations. They're in between, like us and divinity. Like Jesus is the creator of the local universe, and so that's the lowest level of divinity, of complete divinity. So whatever he creates is not necessarily infallible, but he is capable of creating all of these things. Okay, but they have to have their choices. We have to have our choices about how to live our lives. Okay? Okay. All right, we're gonna let that go. And again, you know what? I spout off a lot, and if you have anything to argue with me about, that's awesome. So I mean,
I like it because it challenges our thinking.
Yeah. I'm just getting what I understand so far. And, this, like you said, you could read this book for a lifetime and get something different out of it and correct yourself and go back. Oh, I thought that wasn't that, you know what I mean? Or maybe in certain circumstances or whatever. I don't know. And so much is held from us too. We know what we're ready to know.
Well, what I like about this is that, like with the Bible, there's only one interpretation. Whereas, like when you're reading this, you have your interpretation. In my brain, I have my interpretation, and what it leaves it open to our own.
Yeah,
and what we're able to absorb at a time. Whereas with the Bible, there's only one.
Well, that's not true either.
Well,
there's lots of
said. That's what is said.
That's what each one of those Bible groups thinks they have the interpretation.
Right,
yeah, which is okay. But you will find that kind of energy in these communities also. Okay, you will, but you will, and it's a human thing. Because you want to understand it the right way, and somebody who's studied a long time has such and such authority. But you know what? We're fallible, and that's part of what we have to let go in order to learn to grow in wisdom and in depth and in spirituality. Is to let go of this need to be right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This need to be in control of the truth, and
it's okay to not know.
It's okay to not know. It's okay to, yeah, exactly. So let that be like that. I'm making cubes.
A new box.
I got perfect little cubes. I got a small cube and I got a small cube and
a baby cube.
And a baby cube. My cube has mommy. And bye. Okay, I think we have to just wrap it. Okay, thank you.
You're so cute. You and your little squares.